Party hardy, rock and roll, drink a 40, smoke a bowl. For all you jerks who think you're cool, think again, because stoners rule.
False.
Author unknown. No, that's been in my head all day because our Canadian listener, Matt, has latched onto your idea of going to metric. And I was curious what Canadians would call a 40. Like a 40-ounce malt beverage.
Okay.
And anyway, I didn't find the answer to that question, but that thing I saw scribbled at the local playground's pavilion on the table, carved out by somebody, I don't know who, again, author unknown, has been stuck in my head all day. It's been torturing me. But
wait, so that wasn't a song? That was someone carved in something into like a...
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It might have been Dino, the neighborhood bad boy, but it's hard to say.
Okay.
Anyway, you want to start the show?
Sure.
So yeah, how's your commitment to the metric system going, my good man?
It's okay. I get the distances and stuff more than the temperature. The other day I saw that it was going to be like a -6 degrees and I like lost my mind forgetting that it was Celsius, not Fahrenheit. But I tweeted at Matt because I think when it comes to Celsius versus Fahrenheit, it's a little more give and take, where Celsius has the advantage of 0 is freezing, 100 is boiling. So you don't have to like remember that too well. But then again, how hard is it to remember 32 and 212 for Fahrenheit? And then the downside of that is that their numbers are less accurate because it's, what is it? 1 degree Celsius is, almost 2 Fahrenheit, depending on where you are in that range. So I don't really have any opinion on the temperature, but I enjoy the distance. I'm trying to get more familiar with it. I changed my car to it. I changed my navigation apps, and it's okay. I'm trying to, rather than just convert kilometers to miles, I'm trying to experience how far a kilometer or 21 kilometers are to get a better understanding of it. But it's going to take time,
Sure.
It's okay.
And just for the record, if you ever become an alcoholic and move to Canada and you have a fancy for 40-ounce things, 40s, as they say here in the States, stateside here, you would say 40-ouncer or 40-pounder.
Pounder?
North of the border. 40-pounder, it says.
Interesting.
Apparently, a 24 case of bottles is called a 2-4, and a 26-ounce beverage is called a 26er, and Canada remains very strange.
Are you still sick?
Yeah, dude.
Bummer.
Sick. A little sick, but like
little rad.
In a way that, yeah, exactly. A little rad, a little sick.
Mostly hella dope.
THICC. But only in a low-key sense. So all you jerks who think you're cool, think again. Because stoners rule. I only say that also because we just so happen to start recording at 4:20 on a Monday.
Yes.
And damn you, Dino. Of all the things, when I get Alzheimer's, that is so certainly going to be in my rotation of things that come out of my mouth as I lose. Like when my grandmother had it, it was a very sweet combination of like old Dairy Queen commercial tags and things like that. And, come little rabbit, come with me, happy we will always be, like Girl Scout songs, very wholesome things. And I'm just going to be repeating what was carved into the Lake Cliff Playground's pavilion, like, which is the only thing I've ever really learned in my life or memorized. Everything else has gone in and out pretty quickly, I think. So anyway,
yeah.
And I didn't understand the thing for so long because I was young. It was like party hardy rock and roll. Already I'm like, I don't even know where the is going on here. What does that mean? Drink a 40, smoke a bowl. I'm like, a bowl of what? A bowl of anything would be much of whatever it is. Thinking in terms of cereal, of course. Anyway, today's episode is about Tom's new workout regimen, in which he has... I'm pretty sure you're training to become an amateur boxer, but I could be off on several of those details.
Yeah, not trying to fight anyone, mostly because I don't want to get hurt, and I know I would.
Not in the ring, anyway.
Right. I'm more of a street
grocery
fighter.
Store parking lots,
yeah.
Grocery store dairy aisles. Those are more your...
Catch me in the dairy aisle, and you better pray.
That's right. Hard pick, soft place.
Because I'm lactose intolerant,
That's right. And that'd be so funny. Now I'm picturing whoever would be calling that fight, calling it like, and our lactose intolerant friend over near the provolone cheese slices, Thomas Patrick Kelly.
Well, yes, I joined this boxing gym, was maybe 2 months ago. I wanted to get in shape. I figured some kind of fighting style workout would be good for any, self-defense that might come up. It never has come up in my life, but I've always been curious as to how to properly fight because I have these nightmares of trying to punch someone in slow motion, and every time I get close to their face, my wrist bends and I miss. And I do it over and over and over. And sometimes in those dreams, my wrist makes contact as my hand is bent over, and it breaks my wrist and the bone comes through the skin. And it's just I don't know, it's a bad dream, obviously. And I would like to be able to punch properly so I can stop having that dream.
Yes.
It's kind of what.
Well, what have you learned?
Good kicking and punching combinations and how to properly
as
punch.
Opposed to bad kicking and punching
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I joined this gym. It was like $100 some a month, and I couldn't afford it. The budget is zero, as Pat likes to say. So,
yep. Hashtag it. Get mentioned more.
I convinced the owner to let me do a kind of work trade. So now, every Saturday, I stand on the side of the road with a 6-foot tall sign, that has the name of the company, first month free type thing. And I listen to podcasts and play games on my phone. And my fiance and I get free membership. And I also get their 30% employee discount on anything I buy. So it's a pretty good deal. It ends up being like $25 or $30 an hour because I work, 8 hours a month. And it's essentially, a $240 value for 2 memberships. So I think I made out like a bandit on it. It's good.
Is it a workout in itself, holding that sign?
When it's windy, the thing's like a sail. It's like 6 foot by 3 feet, and I feel like it always gets windy around 11:30, which is when I'm about wrapping up. And it's there's been days where I'm bracing myself, 2 arms on the sign, trying to cover it, hold it with my chest and a knee, and I got my other foot way down just to not get blown away. But that's not super typical, I guess. One of the more interesting parts of that job is there is a restaurant across the street called Sushi Katsu, and I don't know what is going on with that place, but every day around 10:45, there's about 75 people lined up outside their restaurant every day. I don't know if they open at 11. I don't know what makes it so popular, but I watched this line just all of a sudden, all these people show up and wait in line. I'm wondering what the hell is going on at that place. And my curiosity is just through the roof on what could possibly be going on there.
Well, I don't know if they're drinking 40s and smoking bowls, but it's very possible that they're partying hardy and rocking and rolling.
Partying hardy?
Maybe the food's... Yeah. Partying heartily, I should say. Excuse me.
Gotcha.
My slip of the tongue. Okay, so you're working 8 hours a month, and you've completed a full month of boxing training.
And okay, so
boxing workouts.
It's,
I guess.
Yeah.
What I wanted to start with is if somebody wanted to start getting into shape, and or maybe they had a New Year's resolution. There are cardio focused workouts. This is different? This is more strength, or this is just fighting based? Are your goals fitness related or I guess I just asked you 4 questions, but what were your goals heading into it, and how is it different from stuff you've tried in the past?
So I've never been a member at a gym. I think when I graduated high school, Hannah's mom got me like a membership to Lecom, and I would run on the treadmills with Hannah, but I didn't enjoy it. You know, it just seemed way too much like working out. And I thought that the boxing gym, I had no idea what to expect. I thought I was going to learn more how to fight, you know, but the workouts are mostly cardio based. They're an hour workout, and I guess on average you burn 1,000 calories in that hour, because there are like a combined total of something like 2 minutes of active rest, which is like jump rope, which is not rest, you know, that's work. But essentially the way that the workouts go, you start off and you're doing like 8 to 10 minutes of super intense cardio, which are like, you know, jumping jacks, and then you do 10 burpees, then you do jumping jacks, and then you do jump squats, and then you do quick feet, which is like I guess like a football. They do that in football a lot. You kind of flutter on your toes like as fast as you can, and then you have to do, you know, 10 push-ups, and then you go back to that, and then you're doing jump lunges, and within 30 seconds I'm already out of breath, and you pretty much get your heart rate up as high as you can for the first 10 minutes. And then from there, it's like you do 3-minute rounds, which are typical for boxing. And they tell you a combination to do, like, you know, jab, jab, cross, front uppercut. So you'll do that for 30 seconds, and then they'll say, you know, do 10 push-ups, and then we're going to come up and we're going to add 3 more punches to it. So you're learning combinations, you're kicking, you're punching, knees, elbows, whatever. But it is insanely exhausting, and the point is the workout. It's not the actual boxing. And from what one of the trainers said, you know, Megan wasn't punching properly, and you can kind of tell she didn't really know how to throw a proper punch. And she asked the trainer, like, am I doing this right? Can you help me? And he was like, well, you're not doing it right, but the point of the gym is the workout, not the actual fighting aspect. So we don't really correct people when they're not doing it properly. But that's kind of like, that's kind of how you get hurt, you know? And I guess well,
that's how your bones go through your wrists.
Right. So
it's a classic boxing mistake.
I wanted a little more help on like how to properly throw a back hook, you know? And they offer private lessons and stuff, and I've gotten like a little closer with some of the trainers, so I'll come in a little early and they'll run over some stuff with me. But it is more about the workout, and
well, maybe if they know you're committed, they'll be willing to invest more of their time.
For sure.
Smoke a few bowls, drink a few 40s.
Yeah, you know, the typical
boxing stuff.
So
what about reverse, like super like leg kicks, UFC style, heel to the ear, make you go deaf on one side of your face kicks? Are those heavily practiced or not really touched on?
Like spinning ones, are you talking about?
Yeah, like a super spinning, like coming out of nowhere. Everyone thinks Rousey's going to beat you, and your name's Holly Holm, and you're like, I don't know if I can do this, guys. And that old classic American tale where you have $1 million riding on the fight, and you whip around, and you just crush the back of your heel into the side of someone's skull, and you make them unconscious for a while. Do they touch on how to specifically accomplish that goal?
Yeah.
Or do they? Oh, they do? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so Donnie is my favorite trainer. He, like, a lot of these people are, like, prize-winning fighters. Like, they compete in, like, you know, nationwide, I don't know, circuits. I don't know what you call them. But this guy, Donnie, he's a shorter dude, maybe 5'6", 5'7". He's probably as wide as 2 of me. And he is more into like kickboxing and Muay Thai. So he does a lot of kickboxing. Like there are specific boxing classes and kickboxing classes. I think the kickboxing is harder because it hurts my my like hips, I guess. Like I'm just not haven't used those muscles. Megan prefers the kickboxing, and it is more fun because I like doing the kicks, but he'll do some like roundhouse kicks, some like spinning roundhouse ones where you do like a 360 before you kick something.
It actually sounds, joking aside, dangerous as f***.
Dude, it is. I mean,
hurt myself.
There's times where like, you know, you jump and I kind of kicked the bag with my foot rather than my shin, and it hurt like hell. And then I kind of lost my balance and almost fell like once I was done. It can be dangerous. And they're always like, if you don't feel comfortable, here's something else you can do. Never try anything you don't want to. There's never like pressure to, do exactly what they're saying. But I do like that. There's a move that I like where you kind of step with your front foot across the bag, and you kind of spin around and you get your back foot in the air and you kick with the back of your heel, like up in like the chest area of the bag. And that one's fun, dude. It does feel like a little empowering. I don't know if I can actually hold my own in a fight, but it makes me feel like I could.
So like, and plus with that move, your wrist bones probably won't go flying out of you.
Right. Your ankles,
which is good. Yeah, maybe. But I mean, wrist bone wise, you're safe.
Pretty good, yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say someone's like, I've tried a few types of workouts in my life. I just don't know if anything has stuck. Would you A, recommend a gym over doing personal stuff in your living room or around your local neighborhood? Your preferences. And B, would you recommend fight-based training because there are activities to do and focus on and things you can count instead of like, see how far you can run?
I know for me personally, I'm not the kind of person that would do a workout at home. Like there was one day I wanted to go to the gym and I didn't. And I was just like, I'm going to do a half an hour of super intense cardio like we do at class. And I think I lasted 6 minutes and got bored and stopped, Yeah. When there's people watching you, you want to like perform better, So I work a little harder.
I guess that's the case for gyms in general.
Right.
The pressure you're paying money and the pressure is on you.
Right. And I mean, I love the boxing gym. I hate cardio like so much. I hate sweating. I hate being out of breath. But for some reason, it just really works for me. I really enjoy it. Like, it's still really hard to want to go to the gym because it is so physically intense that like, I feel like, I don't know, it's just super hard. It's hard to get motivated. Usually Megan's the one that's like, let's go. And, with my work schedule changing every day, it's hard to make it line up perfectly with my schedule. And, I've got a lot of stuff going on at home. So I make more excuses than I should to not go when I should. Like, for example, I didn't go at all last week.
Does that line up with what you've done in the past in terms of like fitness-based goals that you may or may not have had?
Well, I've never really had any. Like, I know in high school, I think it was junior or senior year, I used to do this like core or just ab workout, I guess. It was like a ton of crunches every day, and it was like a certain amount, a certain way. And I had a little dry erase board, and I would mark off, what days I did it. And I was pretty good with that, but I've never.
What was your goal? What were your fitness goals there? Abs for chicks?
No, well, I was just concerned that I had like a gut or something. So I was more out of like feeling self-conscious, which doing a bunch of crunches doesn't make you lose any fat. Like you might get abs, but it'll still be underneath that layer of fat, So it didn't really help too much, I guess.
In retrospect, did you have a gut?
No, dude. I just saw a picture of me from my senior year of high school. I was so small, small. But
itty bitty baby.
So I think like at this point in my life, I'm not going to do something just to like work out. I'm not going to go running. I have like super bad knees, so that's not going to happen. I don't really enjoy riding my bike. Like I'm not going to do something I don't enjoy, even if I know what's good for me or whatever, but I really enjoy hitting things. Like it's not out of properly placed anger or aggression. I've never been in a fight, but for some reason it feels good, and it's something where I can feel myself getting better and more confident with it, and it happened pretty quickly, I guess. And I like seeing the progress and knowing that I can do like certain combinations faster and with more power, and I can do certain kicks that I wasn't really able to do or kick higher, I guess. Or, I don't know. I feel like it's so much fun. I don't even care how difficult it is. Like,
was it fun originally, or have you learned, because we talked a little bit about it on the show when you first started. You said you were dying. Like, have you found joy in it, or was it enjoyable then too?
The first week it was fun to hit stuff, but I actually took like a voice memo on my phone because after a half an hour class, I got in my car and I think I told you I couldn't see straight. And I think it had a lot to do with like I wasn't really consuming too much like protein.
Right.
I wasn't drinking enough water back then, so it was just really fucking with me.
Plus the 40s and the marijuana.
Edward 40 hands that I do on the weekends.
Yes, sir. It's the name of the boxing gym.
It's called Title Boxing Club.
Oh, it is? Oh, it's not Edward 40 hands?
No.
Oh, well.
But
there you go.
But yeah, so like I was dying and I was thinking like I can't do this. That was just a half an hour class. How am I going to handle an hour class? But I found out that the shorter classes, especially with less people in it, they make you work harder because they can focus more specifically on what that person is doing. And there's more running in the smaller classes because there's more room to do it. They make you like do laps around the bags and stuff like that. And the running kills me. You know, I have asthma and I really struggle to get through a class without being like, I might actually die, you know, but
is your asthma athletically triggered?
Yes.
Or is it, oh, okay.
So, and that's another thing. After a class, my lungs hurt for the rest of the day because I don't have any inhalers on hand. It's something I need to, get now that I have insurance, you know? But yeah.
How does athletically induced asthma work then? If it just goes away after a while?
It goes away like after I sleep 8 hours usually. Like my lungs will burn the whole day. And it's the kind of thing where like if I laugh, I start coughing because my lungs feel so tight. Like I feel like they shrunk to like an eighth of the size. And when I breathe, it feels like my lungs are stretching beyond capacity and it hurts like they're going to explode, you know? And that, you know, that only happens after I'm like winded doing some kind of workout.
So actually, you've never really enjoyed exercise for this reason, I take it?
It started when I was 19 and there was one day I was riding my bike in the winter and my lungs were just burning. And I remember my friend Derek was like, well, it's winter. That's what happens. But it just kept happening all through the winter and into summer. So it developed when I was 19. And was already like.
Has it ever been diagnosed?
I mean, I've gone to doctors to get inhalers and stuff. I haven't.
Did they hook you up, bro?
No, they didn't like do the whole oxygen intake and breathe into that little vent that makes the. My sister had one of those because she has really bad asthma. That's just like ever present. You know, it's not just exercise induced. You have to blow into that chamber and it makes the little notch go up higher and it measures your like. Lung power or whatever.
And you take a hit and then you take a shot and then you chug a 40 and then you exhale after that and try not to, and then you spin around a bunch and try to hit a wiffle ball with the bat you just chugged out of.
Yeah, something like that.
And then you're like, I can breathe. It's a fucking miracle.
But I mean, I would recommend a boxing gym. I think it's amazing. And the thing I like about that gym is their website. There's like, you would think a boxing gym would just be like a bunch of dudes, you know, like a bunch of ripped guys. And the guys there are definitely in the minority. They really focus on providing like things not catered to women, but like their website is, you know, really gender diverse as well as ethnically diverse. And every other like fighting based gym that I looked at, it was just a bunch of like muscly dudes. And like, I don't go there for the girls, but I just felt like it was an inclusive place. And that's, you know, I as like a bleeding heart liberal, you know, I enjoy that kind of thing. So I just felt like that would be a good place with like a good community and a great vibe.
Right.
And
right wingers would refer to you as
a snowflake.
I would say more of an asthmatic cuck. Isn't that? I don't know. I don't watch. I don't know. That's just. I heard that on the internet. That might not be what people call people, but I thought it was.
Asthmatic cuck.
Dibs on the band name. The asthmatic cucks.
I do that all the time when I hear something that would be a fun band name. I test it out and I'll be like, "What's up, you motherfuckers? We're the asthmatic max. Like I just got to test it out, you know?
Really intense screaming.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a good mental exercise. All you cucks who think you're cool, think again, Costoners. Fucking Dino, dude. Maybe Dino was hard. Like, I don't know. Well, Dino was probably an anarchist, all things considered.
Yeah, sure.
But he has no regard for, well, at least the pavilion at Lake Cliff Playground. That's for sure.
Taxes are thievery, bro.
Yeah.
I hate driving on roads. Public schools for p***s.
Drink a 40, smoke a pothole or something. There's something like
God.
Potholes are where I hide my weed, my ganj, my perp.
That real sticky icky.
That's. Oh, was that Dino? I've never seen him in real life. He's like the Northwest Pennsylvanian Banksy, but worse and less clever.
All right, so
It's
real
more
quick,
written
are you
word.
ready to move on from the boxing stuff? Because I got something I got to get off my chest.
Ooh, well, that's a hell of a tease. We'll be right back after this.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Let me look something up here real quick.
That could have been. We could have actually edited an appropriate pause and said we're back after we had looked it up. But we're shooting from the hip today, Matthew. Well, in the meantime, I will say that Julie, one of our more loyal listeners, found one of the Easter eggs you left that I didn't even know was there in episode 58, I think. There was like a minute of silence, which is a throwback. You used to do that on EPs you edited and stuff for bands, right?
Right.
A minute would go by and you'd play some audio from a track or somebody fouling up, I guess. And she found the Easter egg, so kudos to her. She found it before I even knew it was there, so I don't know what that says exactly. I don't know what that says about me or Dino or the state of the world in general.
All right, so I got this thing here.
Thanks for listening, Julie, is the point.
I wanted to have this as my Now You Know segment, but it's just not, it's I got something else. I was
okay, so you want me to do my thing after that because we both kind of have the Now You Know segments?
Oh, we do.
Kind of.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. I got this thing here.
Okay.
So I was on Netflix over the weekend trying to find a movie to watch with Megan, and there was a movie or a documentary that came recommended with a 98% match, and it was called Treasures from the Wreck of the Unbelievable. And it was about these like treasure hunters finding all these artifacts from a shipwreck in like a long time ago. And I was inspired from the Island of the Monkey God or something from last week.
Yes.
And I thought, man,
The lost city of the Monkey
there you go, Lost City of the
God,
Monkey
which is a
God.
book.
I was thinking like shipwreck, like treasure, that kind of stuff is such a classic tale that I've never actually heard it in real life. So I thought we got to watch this documentary. And it basically, there were these people who found what they thought was treasure off the coast of East Africa. These fishermen pulled this golden small statue up in a net, and these people went to investigate, and they needed money to be able to pull all of these suspected items out. The artist Damien Hirst apparently thought this was a good investment, so he gave them all this money. And throughout the documentary, you see them finding these statues underground that this coral had grown onto, and they're just pulling out over like a year these massive statues, and they find hundreds of these small statues that were just like pure gold, and they're pulling all this stuff up, and it has the most beautiful coral grown onto it, and there's this whole message about how nature takes over and the blending of the two can be beautiful than what man originally made, yada yada yada. And there were some things that like didn't quite make sense, like why the artist was involved, but I was just like, this is insane. Like how did I possibly not hear about this 4 years ago when this happened? I mean, billions of dollars of artifacts covered from the ocean, along with Roman money from like the 4th century, or no, year 45, like 45 AD. And I was just thinking, like, how did I not hear about this? This is like life-changing news, you know? So after we watched this amazing documentary, it was the most beautiful artwork ever. We Google it.
What was it called?
It was called, the name is so stupid. It's called Treasures from the Wreck of the Unbelievable.
Okay.
So
that's not that stupid of a name.
So we Google it. The whole thing was fake. It was a fake documentary that was meant to promote the artist's art gallery in Venice, which were these statues that were built and then they made it look like coral reef was on it. And none of it was fucking real. And I feel like I was taken to this fantasy world where this thing that you always hear about in storybooks happening, it actually happened. And it was like this amazing story. And it was all fucking fake. And for 90 minutes, I was so into this thing. And it was like the biggest blow to my Saturday night ever. Like, so none of that was real. None of it. None of that beautiful stuff actually existed. And then I started pulling together all these like questions I had during the documentary. Like, wait, so all the gold stuff was in its own section. They said they got pulled away by a current and they stumbled upon it. Like, how did they not find that before? Did professional divers really accidentally get carried away in a current? But I was thinking, it's a documentary. Of course it's true. And I wanted to warn everyone, don't fucking watch that documentary because I'm pissed. I'm very upset. And they made it just seem so real, you know, and it just wasn't. If we didn't Google it, I wouldn't have. There was kind of a clue at the end, but I wouldn't have known it was fake, and I would have been telling everyone, guess what happened? And right. I don't know, man.
That's a good warning. It's a good warning.
Were
you entertained, though?
I was entertained by how...
But would you have watched it? I guess let me amend that, or take a step back. Would you have watched it if you knew it was fake?
No, dude. Not at all.
So the entertainment value was getting duped in the first place?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was just...
Well, if you read The Lost City of the Monkey God, which is a fantastic book, it was my recommendation for music last week. It was a book. He talks about some treasures and some, sought after things because he's dealing with a lot of these adventurers and stuff and archaeologists. Anyhow, there was the story of a South American country that was under siege, and the only way to get the whole government's, like, what they had in their bank out in case they got overthrown was to get it past, like, the opposing navy in a passenger boat. So this, like, ruler trusted his friend, who I think might have been British, anyway, with all this treasure to like sail past the blockade, just in case, if they were to succeed in fighting off the rebellion, to come back and put it back in the treasury or whatever. But it was like it was like a country's worth of riches, right? So of course the guy tried to take off with it as soon as he was past the blockade, and then they were like, "Oh no, shit!" Like, we fucking probably knew this was going to happen. Anyway, so they chase him throughout the. I guess would have been. I think they went west. I think it was the Pacific, and you'd have to read the book to know which specific instance and history they're talking about. But apparently there is still that amount of treasure somewhere on an island, as the story goes. The dude that tried to run away with it, shipwrecked, washed up on this island, and just buried it so that when he got found and tortured by the people that came looking for it, he refused to tell them where it was. And apparently to this day is still there. So maybe we'll put the link to whatever that is in the show notes, and maybe we'll look up if there's a documentary to that or not, and you can watch it and not feel so cheated out of a good treasure searching story.
I guess the part of me that's mad is just that for a second I was like, wow, all this fantasy that people talk about was real. Like, it actually happened. How incredible is that? And then it was just all taken away. And I'm going to send you a picture here of some of the stuff that they brought up because it's it's unreal. Like, I think the just the artwork is super cool, but knowing that it's just not real makes the whole thing annoying to me. I don't know. I'll show you. Apparently the art gallery was a huge flop too. Like, he spent like $50 million of his own money making the documentary and these pieces, and it just totally tanked. Which, what was funny is when Megan first saw that it was, this artist, she was like, oh, he's a hack. He's not even good. Like, he's the most overrated person ever. So then when we watched the documentary, she was like, wow, this is actually super fascinating. Makes me think differently about him. And then when she found out it was fake, she's like, F that dude even more than before. Like, it, yeah, frustrating. All right, I'm going to send you this.
You know what you should have said?
What?
Like anybody who's ever in a position that you were in to be fooled is in the vein of Meister Burger in Santa Claus is Coming to Town, just yell, I've been bamboozled, and like curse the sky. It's really the only way to react.
All right, so I sent you...
that would solve a lot.
I sent you a photo. This is from the art gallery, but imagine this like being found underwater. This is like a warrior with like 8 arms, swords in each arm, and there's coral growing all off of their body.
Yep.
You see that?
Yes.
So the whole movie was like, we found all of these things from the year 40, and it was just so gorgeous, and everything was so perfect. And now I know why, because it was all man-made and fake, and everything's a lie, and there's no... I don't know. Makes me sad.
There's no what?
Just no reason to be alive, man. If there's no underwater treasure, what are we doing?
It made you that upset, Tom?
No. I was angry for several hours, though. Like, literally angry.
Well?
Like, bursting out, yelling, cursing Damien Hirst. Yeah.
Well, we'll link to Damien in the show notes or something.
Tag him.
Hey, yo, Dame. How many 40s, how many bowls would it take to kill you? Because you just wasted all my time. And the statues were so pretty. That does look magnificent, the picture you sent me.
Yeah.
I would have been crushed as well. I am not immune to being bamboozled, nor is the great Meister Burger. So I suppose we take our licks and we move forward, young man.
Well...
And to all the jerks out there who think they're cool, I just want to say, think again, okay? That's like the hardest bar in the whole rhyme. Like, hey, listen, jerks. Just, I know you think you're cool, but think again, okay? Think again, Hirst, okay? Because stoners rule, okay? Like, just going hard as fuck. Anyway, sorry. I keep tying it back to that, and it hasn't worked yet. But I'm probably going to keep trying. Anyway, I'm sorry your time was wasted. I really am. Is that your recommendation for the week? I guess it wouldn't be.
No, no.
Have we played the Now You Know jingle?
Well, that's not it.
Oh, okay. Is there a Now You Know?
Yeah.
Can I hear it?
Okay. Yeah, we're already there. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Now You Know. So my Now You Know for this week was... I woke up with, I've been waking up with neck pain every day, and I wasn't sure why. We got these pillows that were crazy expensive. They were super comfortable for the first year, and now my neck's hurting. I don't think it's the pillows problem, but it got me thinking about pillows. I'm just going to give you my whole train of thought here. Got me thinking about pillows, which made me think about our mattress, which made me think about the mattress tags, which made me think, why are there are these like warning labels on why you're not allowed to take the mattress tags off? So I looked it up, and that's my Now You Know segment, what those warning tags are. Y'all ready for this?
I was kind of hoping for a lesson on how to pick the right pillow, but...
Just get the most expensive one.
Say love you. Is that it? Is that the trick?
Yeah. I mean, it worked for us.
Oh. Now you know.
So, all right. So the tags on the mattress, that's like under penalty of law. You can't remove these tags. I remember Serta a while ago with their Counting Sheep did a really funny commercial where the sheep were in jail for tearing the tag off. there's been a lot of, pop culture references to that. And it stems back to the late 1800s, early 1900s, where mattress companies were putting like recycled products into their mattresses because they knew that no one's going to open the mattress up. So they were just putting whatever into it. There was one website that was saying they were putting like corn husks in the mattresses, and they were putting like shaved animal hair and like recycled hospital bedding and stuff. And people were like getting sick and dying from like these bacteria in the mattresses because there were just no regulations on them, and companies weren't properly displaying what materials were in the mattresses. So in the early 1900s, they, in an attempt to regulate what goes in them, they made mattress retail stores put what is in the mattresses, what they're stuffed with, on the mattress, and the warning is for the mattress seller to be transparent with what's in there. They can't remove it under penalty of law. And there was like a lot of confusion on that. So in the 1990s, they amended that to say cannot be removed except by consumer. So it really has nothing to do with...
Did they reference that in a Toy Story movie? And I wonder if that Toy Story movie would have come out before or after that law in the 90s.
It would have been after, I think, because I think Toy Story was 97. But the caveat to that is that a lot of companies say that voids the warranty if you remove that warning tag. There was a report of someone who had the original receipts, and they said that they wouldn't refund a defective mattress because they took that warning label off, even though it says it can be removed by the consumer. And that's a little f***ed up to me. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting because I've always wondered, why does that seem like so serious, like a tag on a mattress? I don't know. So
well, now you know.
Now you know.
It sounds like you could probably, yeah, seriously. Now you know. It sounds like the people that were making people sick by stuffing the mattresses full of nasty stuff, you could probably call them asthmatic cucks. Just to try to fit that phrase anywhere other than the thin air it came out of. I'm glad I know that, because sometimes it's like, I don't give a bleep about the rules. I'm just going to rip this thing. And then like the lonely computer rebel goes to the store and doesn't get his $200 refunded, and he's just kind of sad then.
Also, I think the mattress industry is super ridiculous because, we have this 10-year, 100% warranty on our mattress. It was like, $2,000 or something. But they said if you have...
The mattress was $2,000?
We talked him down to 13 or 12 or something. And then the pillows were $200 each.
$200 each?
But they said that...
You spend a third of your life on it, though.
I know, man. Same with the iPhone. That's why I got the iPhone 10. We already had that discussion, is what I was, referencing there. Diehard fans.
Well, it's an important tool, especially nowadays in, the modern world. It's something you're going to want to make sure it doesn't... No, yeah. Well, it sounds like, it sucks that you have neck pain when you paid so much for the pillows.
But I mean, how messed up is it that they said your warranty is voided if you have any stain on the mattress, a pinpoint stain, like fucking drool stains will void your warranty. Like that has anything to do with a defective product, but any stain voids the warranty. How are you supposed to be on something for 10 years, a third of your life, right? You're going to be laying on a thing for 3.5 years and it's not allowed to have any stain on it. I just feel like that's such a weird loophole to them not giving you any money.
Especially because of how many times we're all going to certainly pee on it over the course of 10 years.
And poop. I mean, it's going to happen with all those 40s and bowls.
Yup. Just taking dumps, being not sober and whatnot. Because of all the 40s and bowls.
But anyways.
And they'd be like, what kind of asthmatic cuck would come into my store and try to get a goddamn refund when the warranty has expired and there's a piece. There it is. I guess that's everything that comes full circle. We don't have to mention any of that crap anymore. I don't think. We're just like clean slate. Moving on. It's over. Never started. Never supposed to. Sorry, everybody. Sorry for everything.
So highlight of the week.
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Jesse and I went to Columbus. Do we have a jingle for highlight of the week, or should I have
we have one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, well, cool. Are you able to edit that, or should I pause longer?
No, I can add time.
Okay. Well, I'll pause longer anyway.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we went to Columbus over the weekend and we saw John Mulaney.
Oh, yeah.
The comedian. And it was hilarious. And we ate at a restaurant I used to eat at when I was an intern in Columbus during college. And we took a tour of the State House and we ate tacos and it was Jesse's like belated birthday gift weekend, I guess. So we got room service, which was something I'd never really done before,
Nice.
Which was kind of fun, but also kind of messy and labor intensive. But it was, I don't know. It was just really fun the whole time. And it was one of those weekends where you're like waiting to get I don't know, like you're waiting for something bad to happen because of how pleasant it was.
Right.
Like it was, I don't know. Those moments don't come very often, but that was one of those weekends for me last weekend. And it was, I'm kind of ducking and dodging today, kind of hoping, I don't know, something's got to even out, right? It was just blissfully enjoyable. And a lot of laughs, courtesy of Mr. Mulaney, good food, safe travel there and back in the car. Just all around, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe you can speak to this, but do you ever have, I don't know, like things just go super well and you're like, don't know how to react or something?
It just
I don't know.
creates anxiety. Right?
Yeah, somehow it was the worst because of how enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like I was smiling from ear to ear most of the weekend. Jesse was happy, which made me happy. Not to mention John Mulaney being one of the funniest stand-ups in the game, in my opinion, currently. And his Ohio talking at the beginning of the set, like, hey, Columbus, it was like not too rough. People usually have a fun time bashing Ohio, but it's just like, Columbus, you're like a train set conductor's town with like blankets of snow and it's so cute, but there's also a meth problem. It's like so many picturesque farms and cities and also the opioid crisis. It's like, what a weird, f***ed up combination of things to pick for the state that gets to choose the president. And everyone kind of lost their... But it was like charming. He was complimenting it, but then it was like, oh, that sucks that you have a sad part. And also you're weirdly important politically. Anyway, I'm John and we're going to have a fun evening together. But yeah, it was great. It was just delightful. Oh, also, well, I'll save this for after you go.
Okay.
It's not a highlight. It's just something that you've inspired me to do, Thomas.
Ooh, okay. Was it make a sauce?
Hey, man, you. Okay.
All I'm saying is I made some curry last night, so,
You can make a dookie with your body and then eat it. Shove it in your fucking pie hole for all I care. Talking that kind of disrespect to me.
Damn.
Was the curry good? Yes.
That was good. It's like the fourth time
I know. Look at the ghost of Dino comes back to haunt us all. So was the curry good?
Yeah.
Is that your highlight?
No. Okay, so my highlight was
It sounds like a highlight.
Friday. We got off work super early. I had plans to go over to my buddy Jimmy's house, who I work with, and we were going to work on some website stuff for his lighting company and build some things at his neighbor's wood shop. And I haven't done woodworking in a year and a half or something, so I was really excited.
You enjoy it thoroughly, right?
I love it. Yeah, I miss it so much.
Oh, nice.
But he never...
Or nice that you got to do it again after a while.
Well, I didn't get to do it. He didn't show up to work.
Oh, that's
and he never told anyone he wasn't going to be there. I was like calling him and texting him like, are you okay? Where are you? Haven't heard from him since. But another guy at work, his name is Tom. He has been building these Bluetooth speakers and rigging them to run off of solar. Sorry, he doesn't build the Bluetooth speaker, he modifies them to run on solar. And we had been talking for a while about me going over to do that. And I thought, if Jimmy is going to bail, I'm still going to create something today. I ran home. I grabbed a bunch of these little 1 watt solar panels I bought from, China or something. And we ran around town getting some parts for it. And we went over to his house and, spent maybe 4 hours partially hanging out, talking, and building stuff. He taught me about, electricity, which is basically my job. I know nothing about it. And I now have this Bluetooth speaker that runs off of solar, and it is so dope. It looks so good. It's like the 5th one that he's built, and we used one at work, and it was the prototype. There's like wires just taped to the side of the Bluetooth speaker. Like, it looks super janky, and mine is like almost impossible to tell that it wasn't bought that way because it looks so good. There's no external modifications except for the panels. All the wiring is internal. It just looks really, really good. And I've been talking about it for a long time. We've been talking about hanging out someday, and we finally did it. It was cool to hang out with him outside of work and, make something. I like building things or, making things, and it feels good. It was a cool project, and it turned out pretty good, and it was a nice Friday, and it's a good start to the weekend.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Weird, budget manageable, not weird, but like manageable green projects that you can do around the house sound great, I guess. I'd be interested to see the steps you took in the show notes or something if they're available, but not to put too much more work on your plate.
I can just upload like 2 pictures, basically. Most of the work is permanently cased into this, speaker. I can take a photo of some of the wiring we did, but essentially I spent $40, I think. The speaker was $27 after taxes. I already had the panel, so maybe I spent like $50. We had...
Is this a speaker that's meant to function outdoors or near a window indoors?
Outdoors, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so basically it's just, it has a battery. You can plug it in and charge it. But if you're outside, the solar panels continuously recharge the battery as the speaker is pulling charge from the battery. So it's just
awesome.
a continually charging device. It's super cool. I can upload some photos in the show notes for sure. Elemental.fm/reminiscent/60. That's where you'll find that. And yeah, it was cool.
So before we do our song recommendations, 2 things. One, I did not listen to your song.
Oh, okay.
After weeks of you not listening to mine. So that's my one gimme for 2018 and I won't break that again for the rest of the year. I didn't want to burn it this early, but I have, and that's just the situation we're in. Okay. So I feel like we're both just going to give recommendations this week because I gave a book last week. And I will review yours both thoroughly next week, I promise.
Okay.
And we did record a day early today.
Yeah, that's true. It's Monday.
And that's not to say that I would have. Anyway, I'm just sticking with that. Also, you mentioned one of your resolutions was to invest.
Yeah.
Right? And today I signed up for a TD Ameritrade account, which is apparently the most, easy, quick sign-up internet one. I don't know. Have you heard anything about anything like that? Did you consider any of these things when you started, or?
Our company has something through E-Trade, so I just went with them because that's
E-Trade?
what it was.
Okay. Yeah, I read that they had a minimum that I certainly didn't have.
Okay.
If you're not affiliated through a company or anything. So apparently, I'm sure there's a slew of companies that offer a different this and that. And I know there are apps out there that charge a little more than you would think to make, so it's not worth doing. But from what I could glean, and correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, I guess, because mostly save me from myself. But TD Ameritrade apparently makes it pretty easy just to sign up and try it, right? Without any gouging minimum or, minimum things. You can obviously start with a large minimum and get a bonus, whatever, for signing up. But if you just want to give it a shot, from what I could tell and read and glean. Anyway, so that will be, I guess, a new hobby moving forward.
Awesome, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm definitely not going to be like, yo, give me 50 Amazons. Because, that's just fucking cash I don't have. But I don't know. Maybe invest in a $20 Hanes underwear stock and see where it goes from there.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I just saw that $1,000 of my paychecks have been taken out to be invested into Tesla stock at a discount in February, which will get me like 4 shares of it, which is, even if it
Awesome.
Even if it 10x's, which it's not going to, it's already $330 a share. I don't think there's much money to be made with only
that's each
4
paycheck.
shares. No. Like 7% of my paychecks pre-tax are put into a holding account, which will all be invested in February. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have through work like a retirement account, but I don't really touch that or pay much attention to it. So this will be separate and definitely smaller increments, I guess. It's weird how quickly the grass can seem greener. You know what I mean? Because damn, Tom has so much Tesla stock. I'm so jealous. Right now, I'm going to be definitely dealing in Hanes and other probably male underwear related categories for now, because there's no way I can just go buy one Amazon stock, let alone 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Because those $80 worth of groceries would go a super long way, right? But if every 2 weeks I bought a $20 stock and I don't know. I mostly just want to learn more, I guess. And it sounds like this service provides a way to do that, right?
My dad is pretty good with stocks. He most of the time he evens out on what he invests, but he hit one stock.
Well, that's the goal, right?
Right.
Is to just
make some. But he had one stock.
Instead of spending that 20 on beer, put it towards underwear stock, which is what every normal American should be doing.
He bought thousands of shares of this stock that was 0.3 of a cent a share. And then 2 days later, it went up to 1 cent. So then he sold everything, and he just tripled his money in 2 days, which is rare, But
sure.
Stuff like that.
Well, yeah, the penny stock game sounds like it's exhausting. Anyone who's done light reading on it knows it's a game you can play, but it's not a easy one. Right?
You have to be on top of it.
It could be someone's full-time job, it sounds like, but it would be
utterly
exhausting, and you'd need a little bit of startup quiche
for sure
to get that game going. Anyway, so one $20 stock of something hopefully will be purchased by next week.
Nice, dude.
That's the goal.
Congrats.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, so inspired by your resolutions. So yeah.
Going back to resolutions, I had my conversation with Jeremy about being a partner on the network.
Oh, housekeeping. Oh yeah, we forgot housekeeping.
That's fine.
Yeah.
He said,
Tell me more.
He said, "F you, Tom."
Ooh, nice.
No, he doesn't have time for it. But
okay. Oh, wait, really? He did deny it?
Yeah, so I'm helping him with some editing jobs because he doesn't have enough time for his own company that he's running. And he, has basically 4 to 5 people working with him right now. So he's probably busier than I am, to be honest. It's his podcast production company is his full-time job. So he's already hiring out help. So he's not going to have time for the network. But I did have a very interesting tarot reading from Megan last night that told me the things to look out for in a founder. So I'm on the lookout.
What did she say to look out for? Also, I'm sorry to hear about Jeremy. But
that's okay.
Not meant to be.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You asked, so you can cross that off your...
Yeah, he also offered to he's like, I'm willing to help you in any way that I can. If you want to have weekly Skype calls to bounce ideas off of each other, I'm totally down for that. And he said
take him up.
He said, I truly think that we're meant to do something big together, but it's not right now. So yeah, it's fine.
Well, keep in touch once every 2 months or something, you know? I would take him up on that Skype call, quite honestly.
Yeah, he's...
Unless the tarot cards revealed something else that I should know about.
No, we're going to talk soon. He's helping me launch the Captain and Admiral podcast. So we're in touch. But the tarot, so I asked what should I be looking for in a partner? And Megan pulled this card, and it was the Knight of Wands, I think. And the imagery on the card was incredible. There was a guy on a white elk, and the elk was trying to buck him off, kind of. And the description of the card was the Knight of Wands is representative of a person that gets an idea and dives headfirst before considering any of the ramifications. Like they are just 100% hype all the time. And the imagery on the card is that like it's a white elk, which is like, really rare, really exotic. And he just barely has control over it. And that's like his ideas, like these crazy ideas. And he's just like, let's do it, And that's kind of the person I am. We're talking.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's describing you, man.
And I thought I wanted like a counterpart to myself. But, if it's saying like, I think I would definitely work with someone like that. Like if I was like,
yeah, but if you are that person, shouldn't you be finding the bookworm nerd that keeps the budget in tow?
I don't know. Not necessarily. Cause
are you the guy on the elk? I think is an important question for the tarot process.
Well, she said, I have a feeling that this is more about your partner, even though it says a lot about you. Because the kind of relationship I want. So when we were talking about getting Ron Carnage published, you had mentioned like, do you just go ebook route and try to sell it to some friends? And I was like, F that. Let's sell 1 million copies. I want a partner to be like, F that, 10 million copies, I guess that is kind of like what I would like, to just have someone be like, hey, here's a crazy idea. Let's do it,
But will they know how to do it?
Well, I mean, that's what you're looking for.
And that's an important tarot question, is whether or not you're the elk dude. What's that?
No, that's what you would hope for. They're able to execute.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
Yes, especially because you're probably the elk dude, in my opinion.
I would like someone to help me build hype, because I do get those ideas. Like, I'm going to make beard balm for myself. You know what? No, I'm going to make it for millions of people. Like, let's call the graphic designer right now. Let's see if we can get it on the market by the end of the month. Like, something that definitely doesn't need to happen, but I just want it now, I get an idea and you just got to go balls out with it. So, yeah, maybe it is me.
Well, best of luck finding that person.
Thank you.
Because I think that would be good for you to find a partner.
Right.
It's been a year.
1 + 1 = 3.
That's right.
Anyways, song of the week.
John.
Yes. Give me yours from last week again so I can write it down.
It was Ghosts by The Dangerous Summer. And you can look at our show notes.
And you were really excited about that one, and I'm really
No,
sorry.
it's okay.
I know you were. You even tweeted it. You hadn't tweeted the songs in a while.
I did, yeah.
What's your new one this week, or is it the same?
So you probably know this one, but I've been like really obsessed with Finesse by Bruno Mars featuring Cardi B. It's, like a hit at this point. It's nothing new, but
I actually do not think I've heard
oh, dude. Okay. So I love boy bands like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. I think they were amazing. And this song has some of that vibe with some like old school hip hop in it with like the Cardi B verses. And I think it's like a way to essentially listen to a boy band song without feeling lame for listening to Backstreet Boys from the 90s, It's a fucking jam, dude. It is a banger and I can't stop listening to it. And the speaker that I built, it has these LEDs that flash on the cones in sync with the music, and it just makes the song even more fun. So, yeah, Finesse by Bruno Mars featuring Cardi B.
Okay.
It will be played at our wedding.
Okay. Let's see. I always forget this guy's name because he's just such a generic white guy. But it was, I tweeted it out from the account. Maybe you can just edit this part out.
Nope.
No. But Tom, please.
Trying to find this tweet.
Me too. Jeff Rosenstock.
Okay.
Yes. Jeff Rosenstock came out with an album called Post, and it's the word post with a dash after it. It's on Spotify. The Ringer sports culture blog site by Bill Simmons called it the first great album of 2018.
Wow.
On first listen, I thought that was true, but now I'm like 20 listens deep and I'm not so sure. But the two songs that really stick out for me are a song called Nine 9-10. The chorus is like nine times out of 10, I'll be thinking of you.
Oh, okay.
It's like a really pretty good, just a guy on a guitar, kind of sloppy electric rock, I guess. And then track 3 on the album, or track 2, it's called Your Throat, YR space throat, I guess. He talks about losing his voice. It's not like a weird murder massacre song or anything. But yeah, it's really good. It's just a young stoner that doesn't play guitar very well, but has an ear for a hook. And as I say this, I know you'll probably not like it, but I think 9 times out of 10 is a really oddly romantic song. And Your Throat rocks pretty darn hard, in my opinion. So I agree that it's a good, now that we're in 2018, like what music's being made this year, we can start compiling our lists now, I guess. It's January. Let's, it's official. I think noting Post is probably worth your time.
Okay.
I thought it was a good effort for sure. He does that Green Day thing where he has like a 8 to 10 minute first song,
All right.
They did that on American Idiot. I forget what the song was.
Rock anthem. They had a couple of them.
Right. And not that they did it first, but for our generation, that's kind of, I guess, the most, turns out George W. Bush was the American Idiot all along, which is a stolen Onion headline. Sorry for wasting everybody's time. But yeah, so that's my recommendation.
Cool. Looking forward to
it. I only
it.
took so long explaining it because I have been absolutely fucking jamming to it for like 6 days now. So
awesome. Plus, we had to reach that 75-minute mark, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, the one Emotions in Math song, I like that song a lot, but it was like, yeah, I've been kind of getting into this lately. This is more of these are some fucking jams, and I really like this album. So I would say please listen to it instead of this is my submission for Song of the Week.
Cool. Okay. Awesome.
Yes. I guess that's it.
Guess so.
All right, then.
It's only Monday. There's so much of the week left. Usually this is a Tuesday activity.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I'm sad to see it end.
Me too. I guess it doesn't have to, but all things do.
We'll be back next week. This is episode 60. I think all the even numbers now are kind of cool. Like 60, Whoa. 70, 80, 90, 100.
It's no big deal or whatever.
Crazy. Yeah, whatever, dude.
Whatever. It's like, I don't even, whatever.
All right, dude. Well, let's wrap it up. I've got some stuff to talk to you off the air.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well,
I love you, dude.
Love you
Take
too,
care.
man.
Sounds like you're doing your resolutions, and I'm proud of you. And I have taken after some of the activities you've partaken in as we try to build a good 2018 together.
Heck yeah, man.
Here
proud of you.
At Reminiscent
proud
FM. Yes. Yeah, and we'll start submitting the Ron Carnage book to publishers probably pretty soon just to see what the happens.
Right.
Because it's insane that it's still going on.
Can't wait.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right. See ya.